A very good morning, children. How are you? I hope everything is going on well. Why? Very few have submitted yesterday's work. I want everyone to complete the work. Don't neglect your studies. All normal has come into this life. Okay, continue with your studies. So, children, we are dealing the lesson coal and petroleum. So, today we are going to move with the last part of this lesson. Be attentive, listen carefully, complete the assignment. Okay. So formation of a coal, how the coal has formed. So already we have understood that coal, petroleum and natural gas are fossil fuels. So today we are going to see how the coal is formed. So this is formation of a coal. Swamps with the giant plants hundreds of millions of years ago covered with earth. So what is happening next? Water and dirt covered the plant remains 100 million years ago. So rock, dirt and sediment created pressure and heat to form coal deep in the ground. So this is the formation of coal. You have to remember this all theory. The plants in a large and dense forest or in low-lying areas, they got buried under the soil. So due to natural processes like floods, earthquakes, as more soil deposited over them. So the organic matter, what is meant by organic matter? The plant's children. The organic matter was compressed. What is meant by compression? Becoming together. So as the organic matter sank deeper and deeper under high pressure and high temperature, these dead plants slowly converts into coal. As the coal contains mainly carbon, you have to remember this coal is a carbon content. So the slow process of conversion of a dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. So as coal was formed from the remains of vegetation, so it is called as fossil fuel. So if you see in the picture that coal uh, was formed from the remains of plants that grew in warm, humid swamps nearly 300 to 400 million years ago. Okay, so what is happening here? Trees and other plants that grew in these areas 300 to 400 million years ago. What happened? They die and their remains they got buried in the swampy soil. Over the time, what is happening here? The remains were covered with layers of sediments of mud and sand. Okay, so when you come to the next part, what is that? The vegetation dies and it will form as a peat. And here the color changes to dark brown material. That you have to remember. So gradually what happens? More and more sediments got deposited over peat. So this peat was compressed between the layers of sediments and formed as lignite. And one more concept, further compression. What is meant by compression? I already told that compress means when you compress your two bread pieces. That is what compression. Or you compress your sponge. That you understand. So further compression resulted in the formation of a bituminous coal. So even further compression result in the formation of anthracite. So these all actually you don't have in your textbook. For your knowledge, I have given this. So what all I have discussed about a peat, lignite, subbituminous, bituminous, anthracite. So this is the layer where you observe from the top of the earth crust to interior of the earth. Okay, remember this picture also. Actually, this is all not there. Only for your knowledge, I am keeping the pictures. So generally, we know that coal is a black or brownish black in color. Depending on the carbon content, it is divided into mainly three types like anthracite, bituminous coal, and lignite. Okay, so already I have shown the picture in that in detail. So anthracite, it has a carbon content of around 92 to 98%. Maximum of carbon content is there in anthracite variety of coal, and it is regarded as the highest grade of coal, and it is used only for heating purpose. So when you come to the bituminous second part of or second type of a coal, it has a carbon content around 60 to 80%, and it is used for power generation. Already we have discussed about power generation. Okay, that is thermal power plants, and for the manufacturing of another fuel called coke. In the last part we have learned about coke also. From the coal we get coke, coal tar and coal gas. So bituminous coal is used to get coke. So when you go to the lignite, it has a carbon content around 25 to 35% and it is regarded as the lowest grade of coal. It is mainly used for power generation. Okay, this is also is used for power generation, children. I hope you have understood the varieties of coal and how they are used. So this also you don't have in your textbook, just for knowledge, just listen. So next we are going to study about formation of petroleum. So this is related to formation of petroleum picture. Okay, so what is happening here? 300 to 400 million years ago on the ocean bottom, as these aquatic life, when they die, they settle in the sedimentary rocks. So over millions of years ago, they will deposit and they form in the form of petroleum products. So already we have seen in the last class about rig which is there in the offshore. So that's what it is present in this picture also. Once you see. So here petroleum was formed from the remains of tiny organisms that is called plankton. So plankton means the animals which we find in the ocean bodies, or we can call them as tiny marine organisms. Okay, that were found in the bottom of seas and oceans. So plankton have tiny droplets of oil inside their bodies. So one more point also you have to remember, petroleum was mainly formed by the decay of these marine organisms, not large and animals like dinosaurs. Remember that. Only tiny organisms. Okay. These organisms died, their bodies settled at the bottom of the sea or ocean and covered with layers of sand and clay. So what will happen? The tiny marine organisms, they die and settle on the ocean floor. So over the years or over the time, these layer of dead organisms was covered with some sediments. Okay, so nearly these 4 millions of years due to absence of air, high temperature and pressure, these dead organisms transformed into petroleum and natural gas. You have to remember, due to this enormous heat and pressure, what happened? These remains changed into or transformed into petroleum and natural gas. So, so in this way, how the petroleum is formed, you have to understand. So children, listen carefully. Coal, petroleum and natural gas were also formed from the dead remains. So these dead remains means fossils of living organisms. You know what are meant by fossils. Okay, that is why they are called fossil fuels. Already I have given these questions if you have written. So why are coal and petroleum so versatile? That means coal consists of mainly carbon while a petroleum consists of mixture of compounds like hydrocarbons. They contain mainly hydrogen and carbon. Actually, these hydrocarbons, they are the starting materials for other compounds based on the carbon content. So that is the reason carbon is very versatile and it is basics or a basic for many of the materials. So in your higher classes, you learn about hydrocarbons. Don't worry. Hydrocarbons, already I told, it is a combination of hydrogen and carbon. So therefore, coal and petroleum, two are very important in starting materials for synthesizing or preparing varieties of useful compounds. So in the 10th class, you're going to learn about carbon compounds, a very big chapter. Okay. So coming to the conserving coal and petroleum, generally, why does the price of petrol go up all the time? Recently, we have seen the budget. So we know that petrol is also increasing day by day. In the recent budget, petrol has increased a lot. You can ask your parents to confirm it, or if you know, no problem. So the price of anything actually depends on how much of it is available and how essential it is. So it is again related to social concept, children. But what happens here? Both coal and petroleum are exhaustible resources, but we need them both as a fuel as a starting materials for synthesizing new compounds. Already we were discussing. Since supplies are limited, they are becoming more and more expensive as the demand for them also increasing. So depending upon the demand, if a demand increases, supply is less, automatically the cost of that any material will increase. Already we are seeing about tomato rise or onions rise in the price and all. Okay. So that is the reason we have to conserve these resources as much as possible, and we have to go for alternative of these energy resources. Okay, now let us look at the issue of conservation. So we can reduce the consumption of both coal and petroleum by either opting for a different model of development which does not depend on these resources or reduce the wastage of these resources. So the first option, what is the first option? We have to develop a new method, or if you cannot develop a new method, we have to go for not to waste the energies. That means reducing the wastage is most important now, because it takes time to go with the new methods, or searching for alternative sources of energy and in production of these alternative sources of energy. So the governments of many countries are working on this problem of finding alternative technologies to reduce the use of fossil fuels. So you next generation, so you have a lot of challenges for you. Yes, creativity as well as getting new technologies into your life, so that the next future generation will be having a good life. Okay, so you are the future generation of your country. So think wisely and proceed. So misuse of energy resources and consequences. Generally, in our daily life, while working or doing various activities in day-to-day life, we use many types of energy resources and fuels without giving a thought that about this exhaustibility of those resources and their consequences. For example, if you go in urban areas, dryers are used in washing machines, which consumes electrical energy, even though abundant supply or abundant source of heat energy in the form of sunlight is available around us. Similarly, motorbikes are used even for a shorter distances. So walking shorter distances or using bicycle saves not only fuel but also keeps us in good health. So actually we were discussing about the misuse of energy resources and its consequences. So in that three categories are there, like transportation, cooking and industries. When it comes to transportation, so not stopping the engine at the traffic signals, running the vehicles with a more speed than the prescribed speed, unnecessary using brakes, not servicing the engine regularly, not changing the engine oil regularly, not filling the air in tires regularly, carrying overload in the vehicle, using vehicles for small distances. Okay, so when it is the fuel usage or the misuse of fuel in cooking, just look at these points. Not stopping the burners when cooking is over, using more water than the required, which consume more fuel as well as why? Because it takes more time. So indirectly the fuel is wasted. So not checking the burners regularly whether there are any dust particles, which will lead to more consumption of fuel. Okay, that means if dust particles are there in the holes of the burners, what happens? They block, so automatically low flame. So in the low flame, the cooking of a food takes a lot of time. So indirectly, it is misuse of a fuel, children. So preparing more fries, always you all children like fry. If mama make a potato fry, everyone likes, even I too like. So like that, if you prepare fries for any vegetables which require more fuel, because it take lot of time. So in this way, the misuse of fuel is done in cooking also. So when it comes to industries, the misuse of fuels in industries, machinery maintenance is not done regularly. So any flaws in the machinery, what is meant by flaw means any repair or something. If it is not in a good condition, we have to see or check regularly and it should be repaired. If it is not repaired, the fuel wastage will be there because it will not work properly. And not doing regularly the maintenance of a machinery. Not only that, whatever the lubricants are not used properly. These are the main points where we misuse of a fuel in industries. So harmful effects caused during the uses of fuels. So listen carefully children here. Most of the harmful effects are due to the carelessness of handling of petroleum products. For example, if you go with crude oil and refined fuel spills into the sea from the tanker ship by an accident cause which causes damage to the natural ecosystem. Natural ecosystem is water bodies. You have a water also will have an ecosystem that you have learned in sixth class. I know because few of my students I taught sixth science and they kill seabirds, mammals, shellfish and other organisms. This sometimes we see that. Okay, next. So utilization of fuels lead to some harmful effects. Let us see one after the other. Like burning fuels, whatever the fuel you are burning releases carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas which causes climate changes and leads to global warming. When a coal-fired power plant emits mercury, that means in the coal industry, it emits mercury and arsenic like a selenium and lead in addition to the greenhouse gases which are harmful to human health and the environment also children. Okay, next when you go to the next, many paints made from a petroleum and heavy metals release toxic products in the air. So what happened? These toxic products cause a variety of health problems, including heart, lungs damage, nausea, and dizziness. I hope you know the words nausea and dizziness and all. And here we see in some of the vehicles the smoke will come from the vehicles, and you know that when you go on to the highway, they have a pollution control board. Where is pollution control board? And some vehicles will be there for pollution checkup. I hope you know. You ask your parent about this pollution checkup for the vehicles, whether it is a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler. So every year we have to do our pollution checkup. So they will issue a receipt. That means it is not releasing any harmful gases into the air. So recently, a government has declared one more thing also, like we should not use vehicles for more years, depending upon the commercial use or personal use. So I don't remember the years mentioned there. Once you check up and inquire from your parents also about that, and I want you to check the pollution certificate for your two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, and I will see how many of you are going to keep the picture of your vehicle's pollution checkup receipt. So I will see. So with this, I conclude today's class. I hope you have understood, and this is the last part of our lesson. I want everyone to complete all these assignments up to now. Please be sincere, children. Why are you not doing work regularly? Please be sincere. Thank you. Have a good day.